Yeah.
What was the biggest fear you had to overcome, and then what's your biggest fear right now, currently today?
So when I was younger, my biggest fear was failure and not being accepted, because going back as a child in South Africa, it's a very competitive country, especially in school. We it's every sport is very competitive. You compete against other schools on a weekly
Yeah.
basis, whether it's athletics, whether it's cricket, whether it's rugby,
Yeah.
tennis, whatever. It's very, very competitive. So my biggest fear growing up was failure, but then also acceptance. Because although I'm very chatty and very outgoing, one of my beliefs was when I was younger was I won't get accepted. I'm not going to be accepted, and that comes back from a childhood trauma that I had, and something that's happened to me when I was younger. So acceptance was a big thing for me that I had to overcome.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So to be honest, full transparency, that's one that I realized this morning that I'm going through right now
Yeah.
is that I feel like I'm afraid of. After I asked why a couple more times, I realized it's because I fear to not be loved, basically, and so I seem to be like I seem to have looked for acceptance in the past, even just in like being extra agreeable or kind of like a people pleaser, just to try to be accepted.
Yeah, I
And
relate to that because that's what I used to just try and please everyone, and
yeah,
yeah, I
it's
can very
exhausting,
much
man.
relate to that.
Okay, yeah, it just feels very inauthentic, and it's exhausting for me in that way. How did you overcome that? How did you get through that?
So for me, again, it goes back to the because I've started probably doing a lot of intense work on myself about 6 years ago,
Yeah.
um, and it started slowly with the EFT. I tried different therapies at the time. I tried the talk therapy, which is fine, and talking about it. That's a big thing in South Africa as well. Men don't talk.
Don't talk about it. No
No,
vulnerability. Yeah.
no, that's it, mate. You just get up and you get on with it,
Especially in
and
sports, I'm assuming, right? Like that crowd.
yeah, and but on a personal level as well, it's.
Yeah.
I guess it's with a lot of men across the world like that. They just give each other a pat on the back and saying everything's going to be fine. Let's go down to the pub and have a few pints,
Yeah.
and that's it. Get pissed. But men need to talk and men need to open up,
Yeah.
um, because there's a lot of all of that stuff. If you just keep it in here, and I did again another TikTok about that. If you don't talk and communicate about problems and issues, and if you just hold on to that inside you will turn into resentment and sadness and fear and anger and anxiety. All of that will develop inside you if you just hold on to that and you don't express it. So anything like that, for me, overcoming things was literally starting to talk about it and opening up about it, because in your weakness you can show your greatest strength, and that's one thing that I found worked for me. It was just starting to talk about it, and the more I talked about it, the more sort of I got feedback and different perspectives and different outlooks on what I was actually saying and trying to say and trying to understand, and that's how I developed.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, yeah. That's a beautiful journey. Yeah, I've just recently started talk therapy myself. 3, 4 months ago now, and
Yeah,
it was the first time I'd ever really opened up to somebody. I kind of fake opened up to people, but I'd never really let my shield down and opened up.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was the best thing I ever did for my growth. And although talk therapy doesn't necessarily like energetically heal me,
yeah,
it really kind of got things moving for me a little bit. And it made me, because I thought I was healing and I thought I was doing this, but then I realized, wow, I've never actually shared this with another human being's eyes on me and like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually like opening up to them. So yeah, and a big reason actually why I started the business that I started, we specifically, it's a self-love fitness project. We
yeah,
specifically target men because we hardly teach fitness compared to what we teach about vulnerability and mindset and self-acceptance. And just because it's so personal to me. But anyways, yeah, thank you for sharing talk therapy, because I think for the guys listening and you want to talk about it, it's I'm just glad that you brought it up, because I hope that might.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the first step. If you start talking about it, and then if you really want to go deeper, then I would definitely recommend get yourself an EFT therapist. Go down that route. But I mean, I've done all sorts. Like I said, back end of last year, I went to Peru. I went on an ayahuasca retreat.
Amazing.
Yeah, that was phenomenal as well.
Wow.
Different experience. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, I've done it all. I've tried to do it all.